Let's create a one-on-one for our employees. It's coming up to mid-year, and we want to carve out some time to sit with an employee and talk about OKR progress as well as maybe some other topics. So the one-on-one template provides us a great opportunity to kind of sit down and have somewhat of a casual conversation that really opens up dialogue between me as a manager and my employee. So for this example, I'm just going to show you as a manager how we would set a template up, okay, for a one-on-one. Through PerformYard, when you open up to your homepage, you'll see your direct reports. You'll click the arrow, and in my example, I will use training goals as my actual employee, even though it's a pseudo account. Once you land on your employees page, you can see over here to confirm that you're on the correct person. You'll then go over to reviews, and then I'm going to create a review. And you're familiar with all the various templates we've created. One-on-one is what we're going to be doing today. Once I select one-on-one, I will then create the review. We'll see the subject is the employee. The employee name defaults here, and then I'm just going to backdate it a week. As a reminder, if we leave the defaulted current date, it limits your ability to kind of build that one-on-one out currently. You'd have to wait until the next day to do that. So that's a system design. Nothing you're doing wrong, but how we've been instructed is just backdate it. Today's the 30th. We're going to backdate it. You could go a day. I'm just going to make it easy and go to the previous Monday, excuse me. And if you have any edits to make in here, you can see the author is the manager who signs off on it, the manager, as well as the employee who I'm going to be sitting with. Here's the back date, and then I'm going to push this out. This is the day in which this essentially would be the due date that I would have my one-on-one completed. So I'm going to push that out a month. I did not do that correctly. There it is. The last Friday in August. Update, and you'll see that'll be updated here. Now I'm going to select Start Review, and it activates essentially that form. I'm going to now go back to Training Goals for the employee. This again is the employee, so don't let the title here, Training Goals, fool you. This is, John Smith, if you will. Now you'll see on John Smith or Training Goals template or homepage, the one-on-one appears. So now I want to populate the form, and here it is. We've got 3 sections to our discussion, and we've done this intentionally as far as the 3 areas of discussion. We have progress and wins, we have challenges and needs, and we have development and goals. The intent of one-on-ones with Lakeside is to create an environment between a manager and the employee that's more back and forth in dialogue. Now, OKRs are created at the beginning of the year, and so oftentimes OKRs are discussed at that time. We want to make sure everyone's on track and meeting those goals. So a lot of the conversation could be around that, but then there's also other things that come up throughout the year, different projects, successes, which obviously is why we have the first area of discussion to be really focused on progress and wins of that employee. It also is intended to be dialogue for the employee to provide their feedback as well. So as a manager, we can go into that meeting with some progress and wins that we already have in mind that we'd like to talk about. So offline, I've created some samples here. I'm going to paste it in. So this is a free form document and field. So you could certainly work offline and then go into the system and copy and paste. I'll do that here too. There we go. Okay. And just going to do that to move on through here. So you've got the idea. Now, you'll be able to go back in here when you're sitting with the employee and add the employee's comments or their suggestions if they've got some ideas on development goals or challenge, some of the challenges and needs that they have that we haven't recognized. You can certainly put those in here and you can see, you can continue to add. I'm going to button it up by clicking that green button, and you can see it here. Okay, so if I go back to one-on-ones, go back to training goals, here's the actual form, and here it is for me to sit down with the employee.